really the bottom line here, and that's what most people tend to worry about. So, and if you've got more, then, I mean, you can just turbocharge things even more. But if you're really pushed for time, then you can make this work without that much time. I mentioned a roadmap, and we sketched this out to try to sort of show you how we are going to progress here. And don't hold us to this exactly, because things will inevitably change. But this is kind of what we got in mind. So right now we are at week 0, day 0, okay? And the key thing for you to do right now is to secure your access. And on Friday, we're going to get started with the training. So in that training, we're going to give you a deeper dive into the business. We're going to talk about the business plan and just getting things set up. And we'll progress from there by talking more about the franchise, how all that's going to work, and then eventually into the second part of getting the business set up and into the execution plan we're going to be using for marketing and talking about sales magnets. And if you don't know what these things are, don't worry. But the point is, we're going to kind of let you choose your own path a little bit here. So if you're someone that never wants to pick up the phone and talk to anyone, then that's fine. We've got strategies that you can use. If you're someone that actually likes getting out there and having, phone conversations, or even extreme example, face-to-face conversations, then we've got strategies that'll work for you as well. And we'll get into those around about week 3. And in week 4, it's all about securing customers and making money. Now, this is not get rich overnight, okay? We need to lay the foundation over the first few weeks. And hopefully you appreciate that this is unlike any sort of opportunity that you've probably seen before, but we do need a couple of weeks to lay the foundation. And I think it's fair that, you should expect to be starting to be able to make sales a few weeks in. You'll be securing customers, making dollars. And then week 5 and 6 and 7 and onwards, it's about business operations, service delivery, how do you handle billing, customer reporting, ongoing accounting, long-term growth, customer retention, and all of these other things. And look, the real beauty here is that you can earn while you learn. So you can make your first sale without even knowing anything about customer reporting, without even knowing anything about customer retention. That's one of the big upsides of this model. So again, that's just a rough sort of a roadmap to give you an idea here. And again, this is a serious opportunity, guys. If you're looking to come in and start making money this week, then go and look for something else, because we're not looking to work with people like that. We're looking to work with people who are willing to spend a couple of weeks laying the foundation, getting set up, and then hit the ground running with just full speed and start building this quickly, okay? So that's kind of what we've got in mind there. Here's another one of our students. This is Adrian. This is what he says. When my freelance video production business took a nosedive a few years ago, I turned to Steve and Aidan's system. This gave me immediate repeat income. Let me repeat that. Immediate repeat income, which allowed me to support my family during that time. While I went back to pursuing my passion of filmmaking, I still do this as a side gig because it's too good to give up. It really is too good to give up, because when you're earning, when you make $1,000 in a sale and you get to keep 800 of it, it's just amazing. And that starts to add up pretty darn quickly. Here's $25,900 from one sale. Now, this is one sale that we made. The contract was for a web design and some, we call it a visibility campaign. So part of that was doing search engine optimization. Of course, we don't do any of this work ourselves. We've got our team, which have got all the training, that they do it for us. But this guy paid us, and this is only the first check here, $3,200 in this check. And the total contract is for $25,900. Now, this is not an outlier, okay? This is the kind of thing that you can expect to get, and you'll get this kind of thing from time to time. I mentioned a while ago that we've got a limo company that's been paying us for the last 8 years. And it might just be $1,000 a month, but multiply that by 8 years, and the number gets pretty big pretty fast. And here's the $4,050 check we got on the 23rd of this month, so just a few days ago. It's pretty amazing, and hopefully you can see how passionate we are about this. If you're waiting to jump in, guys, I would just urge you to jump in. We're going to be wrapping this up pretty shortly here, but jump in right now. Let me know. If you're still in the process of jumping in, then please just jump in right now, and then let me know once you're in, because I want to make sure that you're in before we shut this down here. You can see another one of our students, Chad, $187,000 in his business in 2018. Claudio and his family there, $29,000 this month. He's on track to do over $400,000 this year. If you want to compare this to other business models out there, then here's a chart which I think might help. And look, Steve and I are pretty qualified to be able to put this kind of a chart together because we're involved in all of these businesses. We've got them all in our portfolio that we've been building over the past 15 years or so. And we do pretty well. In fact, well over $1 million in almost all of these. So, we're qualified to give this kind of comparison. And parallel profits is the winner, hands down. Why? Because in the first year, you can meet that maximum tier of $100,000 in profit or more. You'll struggle to do that with any of the other business models. In year 3, you can reach $500,000 in profit or more. You'll struggle to do that with any of the other business models just because margins are tight. Like we've said this before, but to do $100,000 in profit selling physical products, you got to do like $500,000 in revenue, that's a lot of sales, or time commitment. Some of the other models have quite a bit of intense time commitment that you're required to put in on your part. This one doesn't because we're doing so much of the delivery for you. Time to reach $1,000 in profit. That's a good metric to compare. And this is the only model that I know of, period, where you could be at $1,000 profit in your first 7 days once you've got everything set up. Startup cost, tiny. Steve mentioned it. You might need some business cards if you want them. You might need some brochures. You don't even need that, depending on which strategies you use. Most people will probably want to get them, but you don't even need that. So we're talking $0 to $200 at the very high end for business setup. There's no ads or anything to run. There's no inventory to buy. And, well, one other thing I just want to mention there, this is highly, highly predictable, okay? It's not like we're throwing a bunch of Facebook ads out there and seeing what works. It's not like we're launching a bunch of different products on Amazon to see which one sells. This is highly predictable, and we're dealing with a handful of sales. And because the business is so attractive, it also fetches a much, much higher sell price. So you can sell this kind of business, and even if you come in as a franchisee, it's still your business. You can still sell it, and you can sell it for 50 times, up to 50 times the monthly profits. Now, here's what your growth might look like. This assumes that you're making $1,500 a sale and that your cost of doing business, so the cost of actually delivering the services, all said and done, is about 30%. And remember, the only times you have these costs is after you've already got the money, so you're never going out of pocket here. But let's say this is the case and you acquire 2 new customers, 2 new sales each month, then at the end of the year, you would have a yearly run rate of $25,000 profit per month. That's $302,000 profit per year, okay? Now, let's just dial it back a little bit. Let's say that you don't get $1,500 per sale. Maybe you get $750 per sale. And maybe instead of getting 2 customers a month, you just get 1 customer a month, 1 sale a month. That's okay. I can live with that. That'll get you in 12 months. You'll be at over $12,000 profit per month, which is $151,000 profit per year. Remember, we're talking profit here, not revenue, okay? So guys, this is the real deal. This is a real opportunity, but the time to jump in is now. Franchises, these territories are being snapped up all the time, and the longer you wait, the higher the risk is that someone else is going to jump in on your territory. So guys, if you're ready to jump in and you haven't jumped in yet, jump in right now. If you still haven't jumped in, but you've just decided that you're going to jump in, type in number 2 in the question box for me to let me know that you are jumping in. If you've just finished jumping in, type in number 3 in the question box. And I'm not going to read out the names of everyone who's jumping in, but I can see a whole bunch of 2s that are just jumping in there. So thank you, and a bunch of 3s are jumping in. If you're sitting on the fence right now and, maybe you've got some concern, something you're unsure about, something that's just stopping you from being able to jump in, please just type it and type fence in big capital letters in the chat box, and type why you're on the fence. So Rodney, Diane, Laura, I can see you guys are on the fence. Richard, Sharon, Robert, Tyra, Ed, Darren, Carolyn, Christopher. Guys, if you're on the fence, then please let us know why you're on the fence so that we can try to help you, because time is of the essence here, okay? Time is not on your side, unfortunately. So I want to be able to help you. but we need to know why you're on the fence, okay? So a couple of people said they were on the fence because they joined the meeting late. All you need to do is you need to be able to get on the inside, basically, so you can make an informed decision. So even if you've only seen half the presentation, hopefully you've still seen, all the components at least. So you can still jump in and you can make your decision later. Karen says, I'm on the fence because I'm choosing a territory. Actually, you don't need to choose your territory, Karen. We will do that for you. It's based on your zip code or your postal code. And remember, we are in this together. It's in our best interest to make sure that you've got a territory that's going to give you plenty of businesses that you can actually sell to. So don't let that stop you getting in, because I tell you what, if someone else is in your territory right now and they're jumping in, then you will miss out for good. But if you're on the fence because of the territory thing, then just get off the fence. If you're not in one of the 5 countries, jump in anyway, because it's a brilliant model, even if you're not able to be part of the franchise, okay? So, guys, you need to jump in right now, okay? Can I work this if I'm not in the USA? Yes. You can do it. Let's see. Can I do it in New Zealand? Yes, you can do it. What sort of potential has Australia got? It's a much smaller market. Yeah, but it's all relative, Melissa. It's all relative. And again, that's why it doesn't matter if you live in a town of 5,000 people or 5 million people, because it's all relative. You don't need many businesses to be able to sell to, and let us worry about that for you, okay? It's in our best interest to make sure that you get enough of the business density that you need, that your territory gives you the reach that you need. So we will do that for you. That's why your zip code that you're putting in, it's just indicative. It doesn't mean that that's what your territory is going to be. Steve, anything else that you want to add to that? And I've got a few more things I want to say here, by the way.
Yeah, sure. About the zip code? You mean about the zip code thing?
Yeah, or just, I see a lot of people that are on the fence, they're typing that in.
Yeah. The zip code thing is, it really, it's hard. All we're trying to do is figure out where people are and where we're going to be building territories. And it's the same thing that McDonald's does, right? I'll tell you that, we did a ton of research. We have a lot of data, and we had to do this for the franchise process, for all the legal requirements we have to jump through. We have a lot of data from, say, last year and previous years about how many people are going to take up our opportunities and where they live. So we use that as a guide. And so we have a lot of intelligence about where people are and then how to build territories around that. But we don't actually know for sure, right, 100%, until everybody comes in and says, yes, I want to participate, right? We really don't know. For all we know, every single person could be in the middle of London who wants to take this opportunity, right? It could happen. Not going to happen, but it could. So the idea here is that during the launch, what we're doing is not saying, oh, okay, well, this person has this territory, this person. We're saying, okay, this is where these people are living or planning on working or, whatever, that kind of thing. And we're just making sure that it matches up to what we expected. And if we get to the point, or when we get to the point where we feel like there's, a saturation that's reached that we didn't expect, we're going to shut those down. So even though that zip code in London, as an example, isn't necessarily a whole territory, it still gives us enough idea of, okay, well, that person, would have had a territory 3 blocks over or 4 blocks over or whatever, because it's such a big area there. And now we just can't, we can't absorb that, so we're going to have to shut it down. Anybody from that area at all. So I don't know, maybe I've confused people more, but hopefully that makes sense. I had a couple other people ask some questions. Paul says, aren't we at the mercy of you providing the experts? What if you stop offering them in the future? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with McDonald's. If McDonald's stops offering the McDonald's burgers and the McRib sandwiches, I guess you don't really have a McDonald's franchise anymore. But they don't do that because everybody's making money, and that's what we're going to do. And we are supremely confident that everybody's going to be making money together with us, and so that we're never going to go away. Now, however, if something did happen, you're going to know enough about this to be able to figure out your own way of delivering those services, if that ever happened. But it's not going to happen, so it's not even an issue. people are asking, how do we establish credibility? Well, that's the beauty of a franchise. When you're Steve's Hamburger Place, you do have to establish credibility. When you're McDonald's, you do not. You do not. And we, the franchise owner, are the one that's going to be responsible for establishing credibility. And the franchisees, who are franchise owners of those franchises, are going to reap the benefits of that. But that will be our expense, which we've already started doing. And it kind of leads into the next question, which people were saying, well, what's the name of the franchise company? Because it's not, in other words, what's the McDonald's equivalent? What's the name? We're not giving that name out on purpose because it's going to be available to the people that join us. We see no reason why giving it to tons of people who aren't going to join us, some insight into start hacking websites and stuff. Believe me, we've been around the block, so stand by for that. Okay. Jonah's asking, how much legal stuff do you have to go through? Yeah, I mean, it's a pain in the neck. It's not that much. There's a disclosure document that every country and state in the United States requires. It's for your protection. It's interesting reading. It just lays it all out there. And so, yeah, you've got to review that, and you have to sign an NDA and a contract. But this is, that's what you have to do when you're doing something that's real. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So.
Hey, Steve, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, can I do this? Can I do that? What about this? What about that? And a lot of these are questions that you don't need to worry about right now. These are people that are still on the fence, and they're worried about things which are only going to be worried about if they actually get in. So you're still on the fence, and you're worried about, can I do that? Can I sell in this area? Can I sell in that area? You just need to get in right now, or you're not even going to have any point in worrying about that, okay? I've been marking down some common questions here as well, and I've actually got some slides which cover some of these main ones. So I'll just dive into that. And guys, if you have just jumped in, as in the past few minutes, then give me a 2 in the question box. If you've decided right now that you're going to jump in, and by the way, there's no point in waiting for us to end talking. Jump in right now. Just open up parallelprofits.com/start in a new window. Jump in right now. Because every minute that you wait here, you are risking letting someone else snap up your territory. So I want you to jump in right now. You can keep listening in the meantime. And if you are about to get in, give me a 3 or let me know that you're in the process of jumping in, okay? Now, a couple of things that are very common. They come up with this all the time. And I think the most common one is around the investment. And look, I get it. This is not chump change. This is a serious investment for a serious person, because we have a serious offer to change your life. And just so we're clear, if the price tag is your main concern, then let's just be direct with one another. A normal knee-jerk reaction when presented with an opportunity like this is just to say, I can't afford it. And I've been there, I know that. But let's be honest with one another. What we have here for you today is available for $2,497 or 3 payments of $997, which of course is nothing to sneeze at. It's a significant amount of money. However, let's say that instead of having to invest $2,497 to get started in this program, you found out that you needed to have life-saving operation before tomorrow, and the cost was $2,497. You wouldn't say, hey, Aidan, I can't afford it, I'm just going to die. Of course not, and that's probably not the best example, but the point is, let's just get rid of the myth of whether you can afford it or not. The real question is, are you willing to do what it takes to make the investment or not? As you sit here today, you have 3 options. Option number 1 is to do nothing. And as Aristotle put it best, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Doing nothing doesn't just leave you with a problem, it actually makes your problem worse the longer that you do nothing. So that's definitely not the best option. Option number 2 is that you could do something else. You could follow another opportunity, but why? But why? You know, and I know that there is no easier path to financial freedom and building life-changing online business than what we're discussing here today. I think we've made that case. And option 3 is that you can jump in and you can just do it. Yes, it's an investment. Yes, money might be tight. Yes, this may be a stretch for you. Yes, you might have to go outside your comfort zone a little bit, but where do you think that your growth is going to come from? it doesn't happen, when you stay inside your comfort zone. If you want change in your life for the better, and if you want to come on this once-in-a-lifetime journey, then you need to go to that link right now. It's important that you do it right now, or you may miss out. It's critically important that you don't wait, because if you do, your territory could be snapped up by someone else at any moment, and then this opportunity is gone forever, okay? And that's it. That's the real deal right there. If you snooze, you lose on this opportunity. And some other people sometimes talk about time, and they say, I don't have time. Now, for those of you that haven't signed up yet, maybe you're on the fence, and for those of you, especially those of you that from a financial point of view know that you can afford this, you can feel comfortable knowing that you can make this investment without breaking a sweat perhaps, then the real question for you, because it's not about money, it's about time. You see, money can be replenished, but a minute gone is gone forever. Perhaps you want to know what's required of you in addition to the monetary investment. What is required of your time? Well, here's something I do know for a fact. The first thing I know is that you can make time for the things that are worthwhile. We can all do that. In fact, you're here now, right now, 1.5 hours into this webinar. So I know for a fact that you've got some time. Do you have enough time? Well, time is the only thing that is given out equally to each and every person in this world. And it's not actually how much time you have, it's what you do with it that matters. So here's what I want you to do. If I can show you that this is an opportunity that can save you time, and by that I mean to make sure you have more free time than you currently do, would you sign up then? Hopefully you would. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to do this mentally, just in your head, in your mind, while we're talking right now. I want you to make a list of the top 3 things that you're currently doing to get ahead in life, to improve your lifestyle. And by that I mean, your finances, your freedom, and of course your time. So perhaps you're working an extra job on the weekends, doing some overtime. Maybe you're setting up an e-commerce or affiliate business. Just think of the top 3 things. And whatever the 3rd thing is on your list, just eliminate it. Stop doing that. Do parallel profits instead. Because what you're doing right now isn't cutting it. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be here with us on this call after 1.5 hours. You'd be doing something else if what you already had going on was good enough. If you knew for certain that you could improve your life, your finances, your freedom, just by waking up 15 minutes earlier each day or going to bed 15 minutes later, would you do it? I hope you would, because that's all you need to do to get started. We said 3, 4, 5 hours. It's enough per week to get started. But the first step is to go to that URL. You can see it on the screen there. Go there right now, sign up, or you will miss out. We start on Friday, okay? If you're jumping in right now, let me know. Give me a 1 if you're about to jump in. You've just decided to take the leap of faith and you're going to jump in. And, okay, so Christopher, Angela, congratulations, guys. I know it's scary jumping in. Murray, Omri, Caleb, great to have you with us. Michael, Laurie, Brian, Ian, John, Rose, Robert. Good on you guys for jumping in. Now, there's something else I want to share with you, okay? And that is to be resourceful. And I mentioned this once already, but this is a really important message. So I wanted to say it just again. Now, one thing, and I said this at the beginning, is that I've found in life is that the people who get ahead are the people who are resourceful, not necessarily the people that have got all the resources. The reality is that the best way to change a situation, any situation, is just by getting out there and doing whatever it takes to make it happen. And sometimes being resourceful means going outside your comfort zone a little bit, but I'd rather do that than live in discomfort permanently. I've also found that it doesn't take money to make money. And if that were true, then you know what? I would still be delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut, $10 an hour. I wouldn't be sitting here as a multi-millionaire here before you today, okay? If you have the resources at your disposal, then I'm sure you're going to jump into this opportunity and you can see the link and you can do it right now. But if resources are tight, then it's time for you to get resourceful. Think about how you can make this happen. We're not asking you to buy into a Burger King franchise, which is going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and lots of criteria, okay? That kind of thing is beyond the grasp of most people. But $2,497 or 3 payments of $997, that is accessible to pretty much anyone that really wants it. The truth is that the more resourceful you need to be to get into this, I'll put my money on you being one of the people that absolutely crushes it because you know how much you want it. and you can see the link there, but you need to jump in right now. There's something else that I want to do. And look, before I do this, I'm going to give away $1,250 cash. Okay, I do have something else. that I want to do. I'm going to give away $1,250 cash, and then in a few minutes' time, we're going to give away another $1,250 cash. It sounds like a good deal. Give me a 1 in the question box. And I do have a few other things that I want to share with you. Steve, can you, I'm going to put this on you. Can you randomly pick out someone who's in the audience here?
To win the first one?
Yeah, to win the first one.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. Who is it?
Oh, you want me to tell you? So it is Nancy. Sorry. I picked the people who said 1. I looked through and I just randomly picked the people who typed in 1. Nancy Dupauk, Depauk. Nancy, if you could give us your email address, that would be awesome. And congrats.
Nancy, congratulations. So Nancy, just drop your email address in the chat box there and we will follow up with you, okay? So we'll reach out to you and we will give you the $1,250, okay? So we will give some more away in just a second. And in the meantime, guys, then just, again, let me know if you are jumping in. I do have a couple more things that I want to share with you today because I think these are helpful and I think they're important. And the first is what I call the when-then trap. Now, most people like to think in a when-then way, which is, it's why most people end up broke at the age of retirement. And this when-then approach to their life is disastrous. So people say to me, hey, Aidan, when I have more time, then I'm going to start my business. And that's kind of like someone saying, when I feel better, I'm going to start living healthier. Or when I have more money, I'm going to start investing and building wealth. And not just, worry about making ends meet. But life doesn't work in that way. You've been waiting for that your whole life. And if you let yourself continue to wait, we may as well give up right now. It's actually the action that creates results, not the waiting. So you say, Aidan, when I have more time, I just say stop. Be thankful for the little time that you do have. And you are on this webinar right now after 90 minutes, so actually 2 hours. So I know that you have some time. Be thankful for the time that you have. That means that you're going to be forced to make the most out of the time that you put into parallel profits investment because you don't have a second to lose. You don't have the luxury to waste any more time. You know what limits most people? It's not actually time, it's opportunity. Because there's 7.5 billion people on this planet, but only a tiny, tiny fraction of those are ever going to see this opportunity. But you are seeing it. So you are seeing the opportunity. It's available to you right now. So now is the time to do this. The opportunity is here. You've got zero risk. Whatever time you have available is more than sufficient to get started and make a serious go of this. But you need to jump in right now, okay? You need to jump in right now. And guys, just give me a 1 if you can still hear me in the chat box. I know we had a technical glitch behind the scenes. Yep. Okay, cool. And I've got, let's just see here. I'm going to give you one more little tip here, talk about what money is good for, and then we're going to give away another $1,250. Okay, so what is money good for? The thing about money and what most people worry about is not the price tag. It's about what they get in exchange for the money that they pay. So besides actually burning money to stay warm, which we would have done in, tens of thousands of years ago, there's little value in actually having money. Money is only good in what you can exchange it for. Now, your hope when you purchase something is that whatever you get in exchange is better than keeping your money and spending it on something else. And here's what I know about you. You need to exchange money to improve your life. We all do. How can you feel more comfortable than exchanging it for something else other than parallel profit? What would you need to know for certain right now to be comfortable about making this exchange? Remember, all we're asking you to do is to get on the inside so that you can make an informed decision. Once you're on the inside, at least you know that you're in at that point, and then 59 minutes from now, 59 days from now, you can still back out and we'll give you your money back, no hard feelings. But if there is something else that you need to know, type it in the chat box right now. Now, there's something else that I know I know this for a fact, you could figure it all out yourself. I'm 100% certain that with enough trial and error, enough time and effort, you could figure all the ins and outs of setting up and running this on your own. Without our training, you could do it all on your own. I have no doubt about that, because what we do here is not difficult. At least it's not difficult once you know what not to do. However, how do you value your time? I know without the slightest doubt that the shortcuts you will get inside of Parallel Profits will save you 1,000 hours or more of figuring out on your own. I know it. But forget about that. Let's say it saves you 250 hours. 250 hours, to put that in perspective, is about 1 month worth of trial and error work. Forget about how much face you're going to save by not making the mistakes that we've made over the years. Forget about that feeling of confidence that you'll have by following a proven system and actually having us doing so much of the heavy lifting for you versus trying to, pave your own path through the maze of obstacles. Let's just talk time. If the only thing that you save here is a month's worth of trial and error, so 250 hours, then you do the math. The investment is $2,497. That works out at around about, $10 per hour in savings. Now, if you make less than $10 per hour currently, then this is not a good deal for you, if you make less than $10 per hour. But if you value your time at more than what's basically the minimum wage, then this is a great deal for you, because in addition to getting everything that you need to build this business, the chance to genuinely partner with us by having your own franchise of our business and all the other perks that come along with this program, you now have an extra 250 hours of freedom to enjoy in your life. And when you combine that with everything else that you're getting here today, hopefully you can see that the only logical thing to do is to jump in here with us using the link that you can see on the screen right now. But don't delay. This deal isn't like most. Specific territories are limited. They will be snapped up. So we might not be shut down, but you might be locked out. People will miss out, and I don't want that person to be you. Okay, a couple more things, and then we'll give away that other bit of cash. And I'm trying to leave you with some things that I've picked up over the years here, because I think it will genuinely help you. And the next one is about habits, and old habits die hard. And look, even the bad ones, they're hard to change, aren't they? I mean, we all have some. And this is why you've probably been struggling to build your business to the level that you want for so long, despite perhaps your best attempts. Maybe you've tried jumping in on a program, but it hasn't worked out for some reason. And if we're honest with one another right now, this one webinar right now is highly unlikely to forge any new, more empowering habits in your life that give you financial freedom, to change your family's life forever. Even if you make progress based on what we've discussed here today, chances are it'll be temporary. Willpower usually doesn't take you very far, and old habits creep back in. And you'll end up right back where you started. Perhaps you've seen this happen over and over again. If you're serious about true and lasting change, you need repeated exposure to training, to tools, to systems, and to environment where you're working with people like Steve and I, where everything right down to the last detail has been designed and packaged up for you. So we basically hardwired success into your life. That's where the magic happens. This is unlike anything that we've done before. It's why we are so passionate about it. It's why I feel like I could talk for hours about this stuff, because I really am so passionate about it, and we're passionate about helping you. This is a genuine partnership opportunity. And I hope you're ready for this. If you've just decided that you're going to jump in, give me a 3 in the question box. If you've just decided that you're going to jump in, we're going to be wrapping this up very quickly now. Tracy, Sean, Cynthia, David, Rose, go ahead and jump in, guys. Gaynor, Alexi, Eduardo, Martin. Guys, jump in right now. Don't wait any longer to jump in. Now is the time to jump in. One other thing I want to leave you with, I call this the pricing paradox. Okay, access to this opportunity, it's not cheap, and I get it. And the best things in life, you know what? They're almost never cheap. They always require some effort. Okay, either financial effort or time effort or both. And cheap things, or the things that do come too easily, they're almost never very good, are they? So when deciding on creating parallel profits, we were faced with two choices. The first was to create a solution that catered to as many people in the market as possible. You're probably familiar with this approach because it's what almost everyone else does. We could have just figured out how to give you the bare minimum, glorified PDF, and hope that somehow you'll make things work. And if we took this path, we could have, we could make the cost of this lower, maybe $10, maybe 50, maybe $100 to jump in. That's option one. The second option we had was to not start at the price, but instead focus on the value. Now, if we wanted to put every advantage we could in your favor to make sure your success was inevitable, and really err on the side of giving you so much value that it'll be impossible for anything other than life-changing success to turn up in your life, then what would that look like? But the problem with the second approach is that it immediately turns off most of the market who care about results. However, can you see what kind of advantage this gives us? We can truly engineer a one-of-a-kind solution that you can't get anywhere else from anyone else, because we started with the question of what would it take to succeed? And we devoted all of our resources to that, to find that answer. And then we figured out how to get it to you in the most economical way possible. So this offer isn't for hobbyists, or it isn't for the person with just the slight desire to get ahead in your life. And if that's you, then you really don't need to be on this workshop. This is for someone who's serious. And look, if you're listening to this now, you probably know who you are. You probably know if this is for you. This is for the serious individual, and it's for the person that's not going to let the price tag get in the way of a life of freedom and mediocrity. And yes, what we have today, it costs a little bit more, but I tell you what, in return, we can give you a lot more. And isn't that what's more important? I mean, we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in setting all this up, legal franchises. I mean, this is not like whipping together a PDF, You can't even compare this to anything anyone has done in the past, at least in the online space that I know of. What you're getting here is the opportunity to get all of the training and an opportunity to participate in a real franchise as a partner with us. And believe me, once you're on the inside and working through this, you'll see the difference immediately. This can change your life. You need to use that link right now to jump in. Or you could just do nothing. You've got two decisions. The first is to do nothing. That's easy. Anyone can do that. Don't take the leap of faith. Don't invest in parallel profits. Just settle for what you've got, and you're going to get what you've always got. But ask yourself, how's that been working out for you? Are you really happy with what you've got? Will you settle for that? Your second choice is to pony up to this little investment. And again, I said it, little investment, because that's what it is when you compare it to all the value that you're getting here. Just give it a shot. If it works out, you keep it. If not, then we'll give you your money back. Either way, you've invested in yourself. You've made a real lifestyle change a priority. And I've only ever seen good things happen to people that do that. So do nothing, and I guarantee you will get nothing. Or get started right now by going to that URL. You can see it there, parallelprofits.com/start, and you can get started. Now, the last thing I'm going to leave you with, and then we are going to give away $1,250, is that I'm really nothing special, okay? And if you consider the facts for a moment, then you'll realize that. It's not that, I've got this God-given gift, for this kind of thing. I just worked my butt off for several years using trial and error methods, and I finally started getting some results. I spent thousands studying and running campaigns, making mistake after mistake. Maybe you've even done that as well. Perhaps you have. Until a few things started working. But the key thing that I want you to know is this. I'm not of above average intelligence. I wasn't blessed with above average online marketing skills. I didn't study anything related to marketing, nor do I have any other advantages going in other than a really strong reason why to succeed. So I want to share my personal story with you a little bit. You see, I had shifted to Argentina. It was 2005. I couldn't speak Spanish. I was on a tourist visa, meaning that no company would give me a job. Not that they would want to, because I couldn't speak Spanish. So my options were basically to figure out how to make money online, or go home with my tail between my legs and, ask for some support from my parents in New Zealand. And I sure as hell didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to do that, So we mentioned earlier that Steve's first online business was what we were talking about here today, selling simple services. But what we haven't mentioned is that almost in a parallel universe, because I haven't even met Steve yet, I started selling services to local businesses here in Buenos Aires, Argentina. In fact, one of the first things we'll do when we're on the inside is I'll share some of the specifics of that business. I'll share the website with you. It still exists today, all the details. But the point right now is I had no special skills or experience, but I was able to work hard, fail often, never give up. And believe me, I did fail a lot because I was selling services to local businesses in Buenos Aires. I couldn't even speak Spanish. Anyway, the point is, if you share that mindset, then you can do this. I promise you that. But don't do what I did. Don't spend years working on, trial and error to crack the code. Why would you want to do that? Why would you do that when you can save thousands of hours of headache and heartache by simply exchanging a small amount of money? Relatively, we're talking about a small amount of money here for all of our secrets, all of our templates, all of our operating procedures, all of our marketing blueprint, the entire roadmap that will lead you to immediate sales. Breeze right on past, all of the headaches and you'll get thousands of hours worth of intel. So you can make money in a matter of days, not weeks or months. Or in my personal case, it took me years. So when you look at it like that, I think you'll probably agree that what we're offering you here really is the deal of the century. And I hope you take us up on it. I would love to work with you. I would love to get to know you, to partner with you, and to help you build your business. Because remember, when your business grows, my business grows. We're all chasing the same goal here. So this webinar is going to end very soon. Territories are being snapped up by the minute right now. So I urge you, don't wait any longer. We are waiting to work with you, but you need to take the leap of faith. Go to that URL right now. Give me a 1 in the question box if you're not in, but you're about to jump in. And right now, just while we've got Cynthia, John, Mirala, guys, go ahead and do it now. We're wrapping this up right now. Before we do, though, another $1,250 cash. And Steve, if you want to pick someone out there, then we can wrap this up.
This one I'm going to pick from people that have been asking questions. So I am picking, all right, here we go. Marguerite Pocknell. Pocknell is spelled Pocknell, and that's Marguerite Pocknell. So Marguerite, if you could send me your email, or if you don't get a chance to do that, you can reach out to support@parallelprofits.com. But please send me your email here. That would be great.
All right, guys. Well, I think I've pretty much said everything I can say there. I mean, I don't know what else I could tell you. We would love to have you with us, but you need to jump into this right now. We really are giving you everything that you could possibly need. I mean, you deserve this. So many other knuckleheads are out there, and they manage to make online businesses work. So if you're willing to work hard, then just do it. Don't let your fear of embarrassment, stop you from doing this. This is a real once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I want you to think about as well, what will happen if you don't do this? If nothing changes, then nothing changes. You need to initiate that change. Don't let another year slide by. 2019 is there for the taking, but you need to jump in right now. What's the worst that could happen? You've got zero financial risk. All you need to do is invest some of your time. You've got 60 days to test this out for yourself. Believe me, this is time well spent. This is your comfort zone. And where the magic happens in life is when you go outside the comfort zone. So it's okay to be afraid, but jump in anyway. Guys, thank you so much for attending here today. It's been a real pleasure to put this workshop on with you. And thank you for so many of you who have put your trust in us. For those of you that are, needing to arrange finances, all I would say is just do it quickly because this really will shut down. This is no kind of false scarcity. I mean, when your territory is gone, then I'm sorry, but you will miss out. And we start on Friday, okay? So, and you should get an email after you sign up. Check your spam folder, promotions folder. And look, I'm just pumped up about working with you and helping you build a business because that's what we're going to be doing. So guys, thank you so much, and we will talk again soon.